attended an early screening of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Let me tell you my thoughts. So this movie, while obviously being part of the whole Mission Impossible franchise, is actually part 2 of the previous movie, Dead Reckoning, which I actually really enjoyed. However, it has been a couple of years since that last movie came out, so eventually through time you kind of forget things. I'm looking at you, Spider-Verse. This movie is about the same team going up against the Entity again, which is basically like ChatGPT on steroids. And actually it's interesting because even that reference I just said, the movie is more relevant now, so I should really start off by mentioning the obvious, the action. This movie has incredible action sequences, and I was lucky enough to watch it in IMAX thanks to my good friend Ramon Daniel.
You are one of the first audiences on the entire planet to witness Tom Cruise's latest outing as the legendary Ethan Hunt.
Yeah, the action sequences are insane and definitely more enjoyable in IMAX. But even if you don't go to IMAX, I think a cinema experience is definitely needed for any Mission Impossible movie, really. I mean, there's one really long sequence and it is just so, like, terrifying, to be honest. A bit over the top, I will say, but they kind of have been going that way recently. But yeah, that one sequence, if you watch it, you'll know which one I'm talking about. It's incredibly dark, there's a lack of music, and it's just very intense. Especially because this might actually be the last Mission Impossible movie. I'm not going to say what happens in the end, but in the build-up, they've definitely said this might or might not be the last one.
I need you to trust me one last time.
So guess, watch the movie, and then let me know if you guessed right. And at the world premiere for the movie, the director, Christopher McQuarrie, said there were actually action sequences that didn't make it into the final cut.
There are some that didn't make it into the movie. Tom had a tendency on this sequence in particular. He would go out in the morning, he would do a bigger stunt than he'd ever done before, and by lunch he would have dunked on that. And he was just doing that over and over and over.
So that's insane. I would love to get behind the scenes and see what we've missed out on. Yeah, they're always trying to one-up the previous main stunt of the movie, and yeah, what I consider to be the main action sequence of this movie was incredibly insane. And I hadn't actually seen any trailers because I didn't want anything from the movie to get spoiled. But yeah, if you've seen the poster or if you've seen clips from the premiere, you'll know exactly which sequence I'm talking about. The movie's characters from the previous movie, Dead Reckoning, are there once again, but there are also callbacks to previous Mission Impossible movies, which is interesting, but I don't know how much they plan it out ahead of time or if it's just like they just plan it out on the spot. I mean, the actors and director have literally said the movies don't always follow the script and they kind of improvise sometimes, which is actually quite interesting. One thing I noticed that Tom actually said was that he wants the audience to feel what the characters are feeling. And I know it's random, but there was one scene where I was actually feeling cold because I was trying to imagine what the character would be feeling. Actually, now I think about it, quite a few scenes, but it was just that one long sequence that I was mentioning earlier. I was actually shocked to find out that the movie is almost 3 hours long. I honestly felt it was a lot shorter, which is a good sign. But yeah, amazing acting all around, interesting story. Although again, not my favorite, but I can't deny it was interesting. I mean, my favorite's actually Mission Impossible 4, by the way. And it features my favorite stunt as well. But yeah, music, sound, everything was top notch, as always. An amazing cinema experience. I definitely don't think you can capture that same feeling at home. But after having seen footage of the previous premieres and actually attending the world premiere, you can definitely get a sense of how hard all these actors work together for the final product. And it's really nice when there's a whole team of passionate people kind of working towards one goal, which is basically the plot of Mission Impossible, I guess. So yeah, let me know if you guys are actually Mission Impossible fans, and if you're definitely going to watch The Final Reckoning, or if you've never previously seen the movie before but still want to watch this one. Yeah, let me know in the comments.
Now, light the fuse.
I don't know how he gets permission to climb all these buildings. It's kind of wild.